Yeah, sure. Mark said, sheepishly standing and wondering what to do with his handbag. Having earlier told him to keep it with him at all times, his mother told him that it'd be okay left on the sofa. Mark bashfully followed Jacob to the dining area, well out of earshot of their mothers. Jacob opened a drawer and removed the posh cutlery. There was a frosty silence until Mark asked if Jacob knew he'd be wearing a dress. Jacob nodded. I didn't know you would be. Mark added. I was crapping myself all the way over here. At least yours isn't really pretty. Jacob frowned. And Mum's chucked all my boy clothes away. Yeah, she said. Mark replied as they began laying the table. I hope my mother doesn't have any ideas like that, he fearfully mused. When did she do that? He asked. Most of them went about 5 weeks ago. Jacob said. All I had left was my school uniform and that went when we broke up for Christmas, he added as he grabbed a pile of placemats. I'm dreading going back. I would be too. Mark agreed. A few boys at school wear what they consider the girls' uniform, but most of them are in the first and second years. Only a small handful of boys in the 5th year dress like girls, although all the girls in the entire school wear trousers and have done for as long as they've been in high school. Did you get any cool pretzes? Mark asked as Jacob put the mats in position, hoping to change the topic. Nah, just loads of girl stuff. Jacob frowned. But Mum insists it's all boys' stuff, he mournfully added. You, he asked. A few. Mark replied, listing the alarm clock, the numerous high street vouchers and the woolen mittens. And a book about sci-fi movies, that's quite cool, he added. The only book I got is a hair and makeup book. Jacob frowned. It's bad enough having to wear dresses, there's no way I'm going to start wearing makeup as well. I didn't want to either, but Mum insisted. Mark replied. How did you curl your hair? He asked. Mum tied it in rags. Jacob glumly replied. I hardly slept a wink last night, he claimed, looking up toward his head full of short loose curls and sighing. How does that work? Mark asked. Jacob described having a small section of his hair rolled into a strip of cotton then tied in a knot, over and over and over again until all of his hair was rolled into knotted rags and left overnight. No wonder you couldn't sleep. Mark commiserated. I'd have been the same if I knew I'd be dressing like this today, he added. I didn't know I was getting a dress until I unwrapped it this morning. Mark frowned. Are there some napkins too? He quizzed, having laid all the cutlery. Yeah. Jacob said, pointing to the drawer they should be in. You boys are being ever so domesticated. Mark's mother said as she sauntered over. Where did you learn to do that? She asked her son as he folded the napkins into an upright fan. In housekeeping class at school, he replied. Of course. Charlotte smiled. Have you enjoyed the Christmas break so far, Jacob? It's been okay, he glumly answered. I miss wearing pants, he frowned. You look nice in a dress though, she said, looking at his bare legs and fancy knee socks. Are you going to wear socks or tights when you go back to school, she asked. Tights I hope, he frowned. But I'd rather wear trousers. Well, you've got to move with the times. Charlotte said, casting her eyes toward Mark. Dinner will be 5 minutes if you want to get yourself seated. Jacob's dad announced from the kitchen door. Will you help Alfie with his pinny, Jacob? Lydia told her son. There's one for you as well, Mark, she added. One what? Mark quizzed. A pinafore, to keep your dress clean whilst you're eating. Lydia replied.